Hey guys, so this week is a very important week for MCU fans as Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is finally out. And I mean finally. So we've both watched it and thought we'd do a spoiler review on the movie, starting with talking about the general movie itself and then moving on to the credits. So let's get going, but before we do, please let us know down below in the comments your thoughts on the movie and your thoughts on the credit scene, your thoughts on the humor, the seriousness, everything, your favorite character in the movie. Was there a standout character, maybe? Let us know all of that down below, and please make sure to like and subscribe as well. So, I mean, we've done a non-spoiler review. Also, I forgot I should have said that. We've done a non-spoiler review as well. So if you haven't watched the movie, what are you doing here? Go watch the non-spoiler one, watch the movie, and then come back. But yeah, let's get going with the general movie review itself, sort of thingy. So I've said this already in the non-spoiler review, so I'm not gonna spend too much time on it because I want to really talk about certain aspects of it. But yeah, it's so different to the other two, the first one and the second one. It's more serious, but it still retains its funny nature, and it was just so good getting to see the whole gang. It's truly an emotional roller coaster because sometimes you're laughing and then all of a sudden it becomes so sad and you're like, oh my god, I was laughing like a few seconds ago and now all of a sudden it's become so sad. But yeah, the characters, I mean, you guys know from the trailer and you hopefully have seen it already by, watching this anyway. Um, this is Rocket's backstory and it is honestly so tragic, so sad. Like no one deserves that, and all of the all of the little creatures and all everybody who's been experimented and stuff is honestly so sad. But of course, it touched really much on Rocket's past, and it was so sad. And I guess that's credit to the High Evolutionary, right?
Mm.
And that's just saying, like, his acting was amazing, and it was. He's honestly such an evil villain, but still, like, Jesus Christ, like, is that it? Like, will we see him again? Because, I mean, technically, has he died? Has he not? I mean, we're not really familiar with his powers that much. And there's so much more with the High Evolutionary that they could do. Because, like, if you've seen X-Men 97, you know that he has a thing with the Maximoff siblings as well. Like, he wants to get their DNA and stuff. So, will he be back? I mean, I hope he will, because there needs to be more of him, because he is such a good villain, but such an evil villain.
Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
the acting was just amazing. You really felt it in your bones how
Mm.
evil he was, and you could just see it, and you could like like the CGI and stuff, like Rocket, like when he's being like sad and stuff, like it really touched you. Like,
Yeah.
it was just so good. But yeah, High Evolutionary, amazing. Can't be the end. Can't be the last time we see him, because I feel like there's so much more to him. I mean, there must be, right? Like that can't be it. But yeah, I mean, hopefully for Rocket's sake, that was it. 'Cause I'm sure Rocket doesn't want to deal with that guy
Oh,
again.
no.
Nebula, I mean, the first movie she was like evil. Second movie, seeing a bit of a different side to her. Third movie, completely different. I mean, also got the holiday special, and we also got Infinity War Endgame, and we saw her in all of those movies. And special.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's definitely a different side to Nebula, and we can see that she's starting to feel like she's sort of like a mother hen in this. She's sort of like taking care of Star-Lord, but also like trying to sort of be sort of like a leader, but sort of not really. And then Mantis was really good. I mean, after the reveal from the holiday special that she's Peter's sister, and then seeing her in this, like we can see that she's completely different. She has so much of a voice, and she
Yeah.
really cares about her friends, especially Drax. And that was really clear from that scene where she's having a go at Nebula. I was like, yes, girl, yes. Drax does not deserve that, okay? Yes, he's a bit stupid, but come on. He loves his friends. I mean,
Yeah.
and then Groot, I mean, I thought for a second we weren't going to see much of Groot, and it was just, I feel like we didn't get to see enough of like Groot and Rocket together. But there was that scene where Groot and Star-Lord were in the High Evolutionaries like little shippy thing, and oh my god, Groot was amazing. And I know I have problems with how he looks and stuff, but Jesus. But it's okay. I mean, he's a different Groot, right? So he's obviously not going to look the same as the Groot that we saw in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1. Star-Lord, amazing. I mean, he's so distraught after losing Gamora. We're seeing all of that. And I mean, he gave all that advice to Thor, and then he's like so emotional and stuff. But yeah, definitely we get that same Star-Lord charm from Volume 1. Like, he's still the same guy, but just so different. He's had a lot that's happened. Gamora, I just really missed the original Gamora. But this
same.
this Gamora was good. She was good. Yeah, I really missed the original one. Kraglin, I thought we would see a lot more of Kraglin and Cosmo, but we didn't see a lot of them. But they were in the movie. But yeah, they were only in the end, sort of, and the beginning, and that was a bit, yeah. I mean, I get why they couldn't, and I get, like, you know, it links to the credits and stuff. But yeah, Adam Warlock. I mean, we had him teased Volume 2, and then we finally see him, and it was good. I mean, it was really interesting. I feel like we didn't get to see enough of him though, and I get that there was a lot to cover because we had to do Rocket's backstory, then we had to talk about the High Evolutionary, and then there was just all of the other stuff like Gamora coming back and all of that stuff. And so there wasn't a lot of Adam Warlock, and of course it's going to link to the credits scene again. But what I've seen so far looks pretty good. I mean, seems, you know, but there is so much more power and potential to him. So of course, in this movie, he's just like, what is it? She calls him like a baby or something.
Yeah.
But in this movie, he's a baby. So perhaps we'll go through like the Groot phases as well. So we'll see teenage, Adam Warlock, and then adult Adam Warlock. But yeah, it's a great start to Phase 5. My gosh, and the ending. Gosh, I mean, so Peter heads back to Earth to see his grandfather. I mean, that was just, you know, because we're all wondering, like, of course his grandfather's got to be around, or perhaps he might have passed on, but why hasn't Peter gone back all along? And of course, you know, it's really hard and everything. Gamora heads back and goes to the Ravagers, and I mean, I feel like there could be some sort of there has to be something more to that. I don't know. Maybe in the Nova special presentation, this will all link together and stuff. That happens. Mantis goes on a journey to discover who she is. I absolutely love that. I was so sad though when Drax is like, "I'll come with you." It's like, and she's like, "No, I've got to do this myself." And then Nebula was like, "Drax, I need you here to help me with the children," and you know. And what is it? Nebula calls him like he's supposed to be the dad, and that was just, I
got really emotional with that.
I cried in this movie. I know Grace is wondering, did I cry or not? I did cry.
You did?
Question. I did. I did
Which
cry.
scene?
It was. I think it was a part where like all of Rocket's friends died, like Lila and Teef
yeah, I
and
kind of
Floor.
cried there too.
But yeah, there was just a tear that was just like continuously just
to be
going
honest,
down.
I've been looking over my shoulder like this, just checking more somebody's reaction because I've never seen her cry, so I was really interested to see what she's like. But
yeah, guys, I think she might want to just have me a recording of me just crying. I think that's what Grace wants for Christmas. But yeah, honestly, the movie was so good. I absolutely enjoyed it. It was a good ending, but of course it sets up so much more. We'll talk about the credits right at the end because we just want to talk about the movie. But yeah, there's just so much to this movie, and it was crafted in such a way that, you know, just made it feel so special and so different. And they really spent enough time on every single character. Of course, Rocket got quite a lot of the screen time. I mean, of course, it's his backstory, but there was enough development of each of the characters as well. I mean, especially Mantis. Like, can I just say, Mantis is finally like I mean, not finally, but she's got so much more of a bigger, you know, part and role, and she is really like the glue that holds them all together.
that's true.
Because she really cares about Star-Lord. She really cares about Rocket. She really cares about her friends. Yeah, I don't want to name everybody. Thanks, Rose. Hear me just going no. But yeah, honestly, I think the best thing out of this movie was just seeing the group, but also just the High Evolutionary. He was just such a standout, so good, and hopefully he's not fully dead. I mean,
No, I don't think.
can he die? I mean, that's the thing though. We didn't really get to see his powers as much. We got to see his sort of purpose, and I guess that's what makes him such a good villain is the fact that his reasoning, like like Thanos, it made sense, right? He wanted to kill half of the population because there was limited resources and stuff. It made sense. Not that it was right, but it made sense. This guy just wants to make everything perfect.
Mm,
And we see like him making everything perfect didn't really work in the end.
yeah.
But yeah, this movie was amazing. Truly, I hope everybody else really enjoyed it because I can't be the only one. Oh yeah, so good.
Yeah, I agree. I think one of the best bits is the villain because you got to have a great villain to for a good story, definitely. And I think he's worse than Thanos and Kang, I think as well. Like if we had him as like the big bad, I think that would work perfectly. He could have just like made a hybrid of animal and robots as an army, but God, he is sickening. And the scenes with Baby Rocket and all the animals like being part robbers, I'm like, oh my God, I can't watch it. This is just too much. It was really, really depressing to see because I don't think we do this in real life. I mean, we do animal experimentation, which is completely wrong. It's just like, but seeing that in a whole new level just gives you visually nightmares about seeing it right in front of your eyes. It was horrible. And but at the same time they were like kind of like being happy. I'm like, guys, I know you're being happy, but what happened to you is sad. It's awful. And I think Lila was such a cute character. I love that she's kind of like all the happiness Rocky had from his past, and then when she died it kind of like ripped it out from here, and then he suddenly became like very not like savage but very aggressive like the animal he was. And I love the bit when he attacked his the creator, because yeah, that was a great thing. And ah I love that we explore more of Rocket's background, because I feel like we definitely deserve to know what happened to him. To be honest, it's kind of reminded me of Black Widow's background, like being taken and experimented. One thing that did kind of a little bit bother me, not a big thing, but kind of did. It was while we did see a bit of like Rocket in through his past. I felt like I wish we'd seen or hear more of him, like during the present, like seeing the president walking, maybe talking about what happened in his past. Because while he was there, I felt like I wish he was kind of like awake a bit earlier instead of just resting, maybe. And then the group can just talk about it during midway. I'm not sure if that makes sense, but I just felt like I wish we'd seen a bit more of like present Rocket. And yeah, I'm glad we saw past Gamora back again, because I missed her definitely, and I love the interactions between her and Peter, because Peter wants the original Gamora, but she's not, and I get her point of view because she doesn't want to keep being told that she's just meant to be this person when she's not. She's her original self. I mean, can't really tell that person that, and I like that it's actually linked to the villain's kind of like moral goal of trying to make everything perfect. That's kind of like Peter's point of view. He wants Gamora to be the perfect self that he used to know from the other side. If that makes sense. I'm not trying to link it, but I never saw that coming, so I thought that was a good connection. One thing I really love, and I think Emily's gonna agree with us, I love that we get to see Yondu again
Oh
in
yeah.
film. I mean, it was
Oh,
a short cameo, but I kind of, it was just great. It was just nice to see him again, just to know, like, that he's always part of like the group. Like he had a clear
I'm
message
gonna
for
start crying
people.
if you keep going, Grace.
Okay, I'm gonna stop now. But it was great seeing him again, definitely. Um, if you heard some of the rumors about like whether Drax was gonna die or Rocket, I didn't know who was gonna die, to be honest. But I'm glad no one died, because if someone was, I would be bursting into tears. But I'm glad no one's hasn't died, thankfully, just so we get to see them again in the future, which is perfect.
Yeah, that's
And
such a shock. I can't believe they all led us to believe someone was gonna
just
die.
like Groot died in the first one, and then Yondu, and then you said Peter's mum. Well, Peter's mum died in the first one as well, but like Yondu died in the second. So I was thinking someone's got to die in the third. I mean, it makes sense.
It's a
So
saddest franchise.
I thought Peter was going to die, to be honest, and then I was going to expect it to be the original Gamora in the afterlife. I thought, oh my god, that would be so romantic, but then he's
not yet. It's not time. It's not yet.
When you mentioned Nebula, I was going to say, like, I love her character arc because she was basically a bad guy in the beginning, and she evolved to being an anti-hero, to being like a good companion for Tony during Endgame, and now she's become her own self. She's becoming a hero. She's not someone's puppet. So I think that's really great of her. I love to see more of her becoming a leader, or maybe I can't see her as like very like a parent or anything, but she's kind of like a very like sister, like a mean sister to Peter. Like she cares, but in her own mean way. Makes sense because all sisters are kind of like that. But well, not all, but I really enjoyed her getting more scenes, especially Mantis as well. She's got more voice. She's got more fighting skills because I don't think we've seen her much fighting in some of the past films. So that's great. Oh, what? I didn't know if they were going to try to get Mantis and Drax together because I didn't know if there was like a little thing in from you too, but I'm glad they did it now because I think they're better ones. And you're right, I love the part when Nebula said to Drax that like you're not meant to be the destroyer, you're meant to be a dad. I was like, yes, because he had a daughter.
Stop it. Are you trying to make me cry this whole thing?
I'm not, but it is like again, it's a heartbreaking and also heartwarming film. It's kind of meant to make you cry, sad and happy at the same time. I don't know how James does it. It's actually really good. And the ending is great as well because while I didn't want them to break up, I can see the reasons why they have to. Like, I feel like they did get themselves closure from breaking up. Like, Mantis needs to find who she is. Peter needs to find his family. Gamora's back with the Ravages. I got a question about that, to be honest, but I'll say that asked later. And Rock has become the new leader. And I think that's good because I feel like he's always like the tech guy. He's always like the humorous sidekick. And now he's becoming a leader. I think he deserves that. He's definitely deserves that. He needs to, I think he's going to show a bit more main focus now. And I feel like he's becoming more, not like more human, but like more self-aware of his feelings now. Like he's always got like this barriers to hide his feelings, and he's got like this defense mechanism of like using sarcasm, and he doesn't have to anymore. He's fine now. He's got his actual family, and I think that's a good ending for everyone now. Like they all got their own path to deal with.
Yeah, so the music, I mean, that's been a huge component of all of the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, and I mean, it's had such a big thing for just generally the whole MCU. I mean, that's what Guardians of the Galaxy is like known for. I mean, also known for, I guess. But yeah, I feel like the music in this it didn't hit the same as the first two. I mean, I know that it was obviously going to be different, but I feel like I didn't get that same enjoyment, you know. I mean, there was the two songs that they used in the trailer, I'm pretty sure that was used in there. But yeah, nothing. I think even the soundtrack, like the score and stuff, like that sounded like there was that familiar theme song of the Guardians of the Galaxy, which we heard in the first movie and then the second, and you know. But I feel like the score as well was just, I feel like it was a bit lacking. I mean, that's the only thing I had a problem with. Yeah.
I mean, I didn't mind the music. I'm not a big bother with the music, to be honest, but I did like that they used the first one from the original, which was great actually. It was a good, you started with it and you ended with it. That was great. One song that caught my ears, but it's called Creep, and I was singing the lyrics. I know it because they play it in Lucifer. I was like, oh my god, I know that song. I'm sorry, I just had to say it, but it was
you just had to.
That was the only song I know from that like 90s, I think. Also, one more thing I just wanted to add is that the final, like not like final fight, but like the group fight where in the hallway against the cyber animals. I thought that was really cool because they did it in one take. I'm sorry, this is just a film studio in me, but like they did it perfectly. Like they filmed like each character fighting and show like different skills, and it was really cool as well. Kind of reminds me of like Kingsman, like Secret Circle, something like when they do like fight scenes in more than one take. It was really good. Like just like different positions, like just swooping in. It was really good. Two questions. One of them is connected to holiday special. So the first one, I was expecting it to see the film. Where's Bucky's metal arm? Because I was thinking Bucky was gonna use it or something. I don't know. I thought it was gonna be a cameo, but where is it now? And also, second one is that because we know now in the film that this new version of Gamora was raised by the Ravagers, I think, or she somehow joined. I was just thinking, then I know this could be a mixed timeline, but like from the past, like after Endgame, Gamora went back to the past and she's living with the Ravagers now. So during that past, like after she returned to her past original timeline, shouldn't she know Peter or like something? Or Peter should have known her when she join the Ravagers or something. Because do you get what I'm saying? Or
Yeah, it's honestly, I think Endgame just made the whole thing very confusing. And as much as it was a really good film, it's the whole timeline shifting thing. Like,
I mean,
I don't think you can ever get.
Yeah, I like the time travel method thing. I get that, but I don't get how she's still part of this timeline, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, because obviously, because if she was part of this timeline, then what happened to like
The
like,
original, yeah.
because that's literally what the Ancient One said, right? She literally said that.
Like,
yeah, how is the TVA not getting involved in this?
exactly.
Yeah, honestly, it's such a mess, honestly.
I mean, they were getting at Loki, but they weren't involved with this. Like what? Or maybe they're too distracted with Kang or something. I don't know, but
I don't know, but yeah, you're right. It's very confusing.
like
That's the one thing I didn't really
there
enjoy
should
about
be
Endgame.
like some explanation or some answers about that because I'm a
Yeah.
little bit confused.
I mean, how do you answer that? Like, how do you even like? I don't even know how
Yeah,
you could
like
how you can make sense of that. Like, I just
it's just because then he should have remembered her, or like it should have altered the memory or something. I don't know. I mean, it probably wouldn't work like that, but it must affect the timeline. Come on, it's
maybe there's another timeline now again. Like, it's
or
created
maybe
another
there's
one.
two timelines merging in together. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I need to
very
do more
confusing stuff.
digging.
Should we talk about the credits then?
Yeah, let's.
All right, start off with the mid credits. So I guess we're introduced to the new Guardians of the Galaxy team. Rocket as the captain, as Grace said before. Groot, Kraglin, Adam Warlock, and Phyla Vel, I think I'm saying that right.
Is that
And
the little
Cosmo
kid?
as well. Yeah, it's the little kid. Yeah. So yeah, new group.
I might want to look into that character. Phyla Vel?
Yeah, so apparently in the comics she's like the daughter of the original Captain Marvel.
Really?
But of course in this one she probably isn't because I don't think she's like
Yeah.
I
To
don't
be honest, I thought like because I think in the comics, I think Drax had a daughter, like Drax did had a daughter, but I think she had a much bigger role in the comic. I think her name was like Moondragon. I might have got this wrong. I'm not 100% sure, but I think there is a connection between these two characters. But I thought like this kid was gonna like turn out to be her. Like she's meant to have like some gifts or something. I'm not sure, but I could just imagine that happening because in this one we could see her being treated as like Drax treating her like a daughter, like maybe or something like that. You know, like Thor with love, like treating them like
yeah. But no, she's apparently quite a big member in the Guardians of the Galaxy team. So yeah, it's just been teased. I mean, there was nothing much to the credit scene. I mean, apart from
Sadly,
getting the new team.
I was expecting something to happen for the future. I mean,
Mm,
I'm glad we don't get much cameos or something, but I was expecting
yeah.
something like I don't know, something linked to like maybe the
Yeah, like
TV.
the next big danger or something.
Yeah. Or maybe the
Yeah.
TVA, maybe there was like a little symbol or something hidden in the sand, or
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it was very, I mean, as much as I'm glad to like, you know, get to see this new team. I just feel like there's
Nothing
something
much.
missing, but I think
Yeah.
that's just purely because they don't know what's gonna happen next. Because it's
Yeah.
just like what's gonna happen. But yeah, the post-credit scene is no better.
That's true. That's
So
true.
yeah, post-credit scene, Peter's literally sitting at the table with his grandfather. I mean, there's a few little like Easter eggs and stuff. I mean, the grandfather's like reading a newspaper with the headline like about an alien abduction of Kevin Bacon, which is obviously a link to the Christmas special, which was cool. But yeah, but literally all we could hear was him eating cereal, and I was like, I could have just stayed home and ate cereal myself and made those
That's
noises, you know. I literally said that. But yeah,
I
it
think
was
what I think someone's gonna pause in that scene and gonna read a bit more into the newspaper and find out there's little tiny bits in it.
yeah.
Remember you sent this to me. Remember you sent me something about like in She-Hulk, someone was looking on
Mm.
the iPad and it was something about like a guy with adamantium claws, and you're like, oh, that's
Yeah,
Wolverine.
that one, and also Eternals, the link to the Celestial as well.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, you're definitely
So
right. There probably is more to that. Yeah,
I think there is going to be something in a newspaper. I'm not sure what,
yeah,
but there is going to be something.
yeah. That's a good point. Yeah, I guess we just got to have to wait and see then. But the main part was after all the cereal crunching noises, and it was like the legendary Star-Lord will return.
Not the legendary Guardians, just the Star-Lord. So
I mean, we know
I
this.
was
We
just
know the
thinking,
guys are gonna
excuse
return.
me, why not legendary Rocket or Mantis or Drax? What about
Well,
them?
we know Rocket is already, you know, they're gonna return definitely because they're the new Guardians of the Galaxy team. But we weren't
Oh,
sure about Star-Lord or Nebula or Gamora or Mantis or Drax.
yeah,
I think that's everybody. Everybody
yeah.
else we sort of already know. They're part of the new team. I mean, the
Mm.
mid-credit scene could have literally just been how they ended the movie. They could have just ended it as that, like showing us like a new uniform and all of them wearing it, and that could have been that.
Yeah.
I feel like that probably might have made more sense than being a credit scene. But yeah, the
Mhm.
credit scene was both of them were just
Yeah,
very
they're
disappointing.
not very meaningful, guys. Like they don't have an impact for the future film, so don't
Yeah,
waste your time on them. I mean, they're
yeah,
nice to see, but
yeah,
not a big
yeah.
deal.
I have a feeling it's because James Gunn is like leaving, like after this trilogy, he's done moving over to DC, and so he's like, well, how like he doesn't have a clue how what's gonna happen next. I mean, none of us do we? Like,
Mm.
what is gonna happen next? All of these movies that we've had so far, they really haven't been linking, and
No.
uh,
Well, truthfully, I think in when we were talking about phase four, I think we were talking about issues about phase four. We were talking about the too many links in phase four and how like there's so many things happening at the same time. So I
yeah,
think James Gunn is just trying to keep it simple, which is okay to
yeah,
be honest. But let's try to get the links together now and not
yeah.
no.
Yeah. I mean, all I wanted is just some sort of storyline, something to look forward to for the next movie. You know,
Mm.
like the post-credit scene of Volume 2 was basically Adam Warlock. And what happened in this one? You saw Adam Warlock. We needed
Mm.
something like that. Like
Yeah.
just something to just give us a little bit, you know.
Well, we know the villain might return because he's alive,
Well,
maybe.
we're not 100% sure. I'm just hoping.
He's a good villain. Great to see him
Yeah.
again. So yeah, guys, that's our spoiler review for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. If you guys have seen the if you guys seen the film, leave a comment down below on your thoughts. Whether do you like it? Do you think it was best out of Volume 1 or 2? Yeah, leave us a comment. Before you leave, please make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Check out our other reviews on our previous Marvel films, such as Ant-Man, Black Panther, Doctor Strange 2. Check them all out. And check out Disney ones as well, or other TV show original ones. Just check them out. I'm not going to list them down. Check out our pranks, games, a whole lot. And check out our website. It has information about us and some of our videos. And follow us on Twitter, Instagram. We will definitely follow you back. So thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.